The diplomatic hall of Station Nexus 7 gleamed with bioluminescent panels, casting ethereal light across the assembled delegates. Commander Farratt stood rigid in his Earth Force uniform, watching the Valerian delegation approach. Their crystalline skin refracted the light into rainbow patterns, beautiful by any standard in the galaxy, except apparently by theirs. "Human," the lead Valerian ambassador said, her voice like wind chimes. "We have reviewed your proposal for the mining rights treaty." Farratt nodded, keeping his expression neutral. 3 months of negotiations had led to this moment. Earth needed the rare minerals from the Valerian system. The Valerians needed Earth's defensive technology against the encroaching Krell Empire. "We accept your terms," the ambassador continued, "but we require a cultural bond. A marriage alliance." Farratt's heart sank. He'd read about such requirements in the xenodiplomacy briefings. "I understand. Which of Earth's representatives would be suitable?" The ambassador gestured, and a younger Valerian stepped forward. She had the same crystalline features, but her eyes were clouded, milky white instead of the typical prismatic clarity. Behind her, a smaller girl, perhaps her sister, held her arm gently. "This is Elsa," the ambassador said. "She lost her sight in a stellar radiation accident. We offer her as the bride." The younger girl, no more than adolescent by Valerian standards, spoke up with startling innocence. "You should marry my sister. She cannot see, so she will not know how ugly you are." The hall fell silent. Farratt felt the stares of every delegate. The Valerians considered humans repulsive. He knew this from the intelligence reports. Their smooth, crystalline beauty contrasted sharply with human flesh. Soft, scarred, asymmetrical. Every human diplomat had faced the barely concealed disgust in Valerian expressions. But the child's words, spoken without malice, cut deeper than any intentional insult. The ambassador's crystalline face somehow managed to convey embarrassment. "Lyra speaks from innocence. She means no offense. Among our people, physical appearance carries great weight in pair bonding. Elsa's condition makes her unmarriageable by our standards. But for a human," she trailed off, the implication clear. Farratt looked at Elsa. She stood with quiet dignity, her blind eyes facing forward, her expression unreadable. He thought of Earth, of the billions depending on this treaty, of the Krell fleet that wouldn't wait for human pride to recover. "May I speak with Elsa?" he asked. The ambassador seemed surprised but nodded. Farratt approached slowly, aware that Elsa would hear his footsteps. "Elsa," he said softly. "I'm Farratt. Do you want this?" For the first time, emotion crossed her features. "Want?" Her voice was melodic, uncertain. "I have not been asked what I want in many cycles, Commander. I'm asking now." She tilted her head. A gesture he'd learned meant she was thinking. "My people see me as broken. You humans are seen as—" She paused delicately. "Ugly," Farratt finished. "Your sister made it clear. Lyra is young. She repeats what she hears." Elsa's tone held gentle reproach. "But yes, to my people humans are difficult to perceive. Your features, your textures, they find it disturbing. And you? What do you perceive?" Elsa's hand rose slowly. "May I?" Farratt understood. He stepped closer, and her fingers touched his face. They were cool, smooth, exploring his features with careful attention. His rough skin, the stubble on his jaw, the imperfect symmetry of human bone structure. "I perceive," she said slowly, warmth. "I perceive kindness in your voice, something my people have not shown me since my accident." Her fingers traced the crinkles at his eyes. Smile lines. "You have lived. Felt joy enough to mark your face with it." Behind them, young Lyra gasped. "Sister, you're touching it." "Him," Elsa corrected firmly. "I am touching him, and he is not ugly, Lyra, he is different." Farratt caught his breath. In all his years of diplomatic service, facing the subtle contempt of species who found humans revolting, no one had ever made it sound like a virtue. "The treaty requires 5 cycles of bonding," the ambassador interjected. 5 years by your counting, Commander. After that, if both parties agree, the marriage can be dissolved. The alliance will hold regardless. 5 years. Farratt thought of the alternative: war, resource starvation, the slow decline of humanity's expansion into the stars. He thought of the woman before him, offered up like a consolation prize because she couldn't see what her people found repugnant. And he thought of her words, "He is different." "I accept," Farratt said, "if Elsa accepts." Elsa's hand was still on his face. Her clouded eyes somehow seemed to see more than any clear ones in the room. You would do this? Knowing my people offer me only because I am blind? Knowing they think it a mercy that I cannot see you? I would do this, Farhat said, because Earth needs this alliance, but also because I think your people are fools. A sound escaped Elsa, almost a laugh. Fools! They think your blindness makes you less. They think it's mercy that you can't see me. He covered her hand with his own. But maybe it's mercy that you don't have to see the contempt in their eyes when they look at you. Or at me. Elsa was quiet for a long moment. Then she smiled. The first smile he'd seen from any Valerian that wasn't diplomatic politeness. Perhaps, she said, we can show them that the blind and the ugly make a better pair than they imagine. Young Lyra tugged at her sister's robe. Sister, I did not mean— I know, little one, Elsa said gently. You spoke truth as our people see it, but truth has many faces. Perhaps it is time we learn to perceive with more than just our eyes. The ambassador cleared her throat. Then we have an accord. The bonding ceremony will commence in 3 solar days. As the delegates dispersed, Farhat remained beside Elsa. Are you frightened? He asked quietly. Yes, she admitted. Are you? Terrified. She laughed again, clearer this time. At least we are honest with each other. That is more than most political marriages can claim. Farhat looked around the hall, at the Valerians who still watched with that mixture of pity and disgust, at the human diplomats trying to hide their relief. An odd thought struck him. Maybe humanity's greatest strength wasn't their resilience or their adaptability, or their stubbornness. Maybe it was simpler than that. Maybe it was their ability to find connection in the most unlikely places, to see value where others saw only deficiency, to choose kindness when cruelty was easier. Elsa, he said, I think we're going to surprise them all. Her hand found his again. Good, she said. I have always enjoyed surprises. Behind them, the stars visible through the station's viewport burned eternal, and on a blind Valerian woman's face hope bloomed like light through crystal. The end.